Hello, everybody, and we're back for another show.
We're
and
back.
We're back. Seekers,
I feel like I'm
Chronicles,
gonna
Paranormal Historians. Brrr.
drum from that intro. I feel like I'm like.
I know. Every time I think, oh man, long day, and then I start to rock and roll with that. Love it.
Yeah.
So, I know Jenny had a good weekend, but Kimm, did you do anything? I know I didn't do nothing. I babysat all weekend.
Yeah.
That's not nothing.
Well, no, that's not nothing. I had a great time. I was with my grandson all weekend. He's gonna be
And
1 year old in 2 weeks. Yeah, he's saying dog.
Is that his first word?
Pretty much, yeah.
That is, I love
say
that.
Ghost.
Yeah.
Ghost.
Well, he has a
ghost.
Yeah, he has a dog. Well, Mocha. That was like, I remember my grandpup, I call her.
Yes.
And she that's so he's always with the dog at the house. He also has a cat there too. And he's been trying to say cat, but he can't get the cat. There's at. But he says dog.
Well,
and I used to sit there with him and say dog. Mocha's a dog. And now he picked it up, so it's pretty cool. So I'm enjoying that,
Nice.
that he's starting to talk. And
so cute.
I want to say Papa, but he's not saying Papa.
Of course. You wanted to say
dogs
cannoli.
are more important, Anthony. Dogs are way more important.
Dogs are more important, yeah. Let the dog clean him and clean his poop and everything, feed him.
Yeah.
Probably gladly.
So it's fun. It wasn't that weekend, but I'm talking about I didn't do anything paranormal, so I stayed with my grandson.
What about you, Kimm? What'd you do?
This weekend I didn't do much, but yesterday did some oracle readings for Nurses Week at one of our local hospitals. Richard, Michelle, and I did, we're there for the evening. He was there all day. I was there just for the evening, but we were doing some oracle readings for the nurses. So that was really nice.
I love it.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Happy Nurses Week, everybody.
Yes.
Happy Nurses Week.
Yeah.
And that's such a lovely thing that you guys did. I love that. I saw the setup.
We love doing things in the community. We do.
Mm-hmm.
And this was at the hospital?
Yeah.
Okay.
Morristown Hospital.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. My friend Stacy works there as a pharmacist. You know that? Who investigates with us.
She does.
Oh
my gosh, we should have told her we were there.
I went. I know. She was probably working. Yeah, I was away this weekend investigating. Oh boy, I'm still tired. One of those. Mm-hmm. First time at Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. And
wow.
It's everything. Yeah, it's hard to even explain.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to even explain. First of all, how large it is. Like, no matter how big people tell you it is, it's bigger. It's bigger. It's 250,000 square feet, and 30,000 people died there. Like, these are numbers that you just can't get your head around. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I went with Parasite, obviously, my group, and also Nicole from Full Moon, Todd and Carmela, Frankie, Anthony. We had an amazing weekend and an amazing investigation. Really incredible place. Can't wait to go back. Let's go back.
What was the best experience? What was the best thing? What was the most impressionable moment?
I think Nicole and I stayed until the bitter end, till 5 a.m. We almost got lost in. And we kind of came up and they were like, oh, you two, kind of thing. We were way, way, way down in the lobotomy recovery area. And we had a really, some profound experiences down there. But I would say the biggest thing is when we left a room at one point, and we left the room, we're down the hall, and everything started going off back in the room. And we turned, and on Nicole's live, somebody said, I saw somebody run across. I saw a shadow run across the hallway. And it indeed it is on the video. So we did capture the shadow run across the hallway.
Tyler's an awesome place. I've been there too. And I got a couple of drawings from that place and crazy evidence. I had stuff thrown at me. So,
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I would have went with you this weekend, but I just couldn't do everything. And You know, I
Yeah.
wish I could have.
It was amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, you could talk about it we could have an episode on it for 2 hours. So I'll stop
Yeah.
there. But it was wonderful.
Was
Yeah,
that
highly
one of
recommend
the
it.
pictures I read last week? Was one of those pictures? There was 2 hospital pictures.
No, I don't think so.
Cold Creek, Sweet Creek, Sweet.
I think that was Sweet Springs.
Sweet Springs
In West Virginia. Yeah.
And then
right.
That's right. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Because I was like, oh, did you see Sarah?
The biggest thing I learned was, oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We got some voices that said, I felt better. I got better.
Wow.
And that was really, you go to these places and you think the dark and the awful and the terrible, but we got some EVP saying, I got better. I really got better.
Wow.
So
that's very Monty Python.
Them.
I
don't know. Yeah, I know, but it's funny, but when you're in that, it's very emotional. So
sure.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think so. It was.
Yes.
Ty and Carmel had been there before. Yeah. So
they have been there already?
30th episode, people. 30.
Yes. We're on 30. Number 30.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We have a special one tonight. I'm excited. I've been really excited to have these 2 on. Yeah, everybody wants to see your shirt, as always, Anthony. What's on your shirt? Take the
gun and leave the cannoli.
No, take the cannoli. Leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Take the gun.
That's what I said. Leave it.
Right.
Did I say leave it? I don't know what I say anymore. So I just go as I go along, They need paraphrase. They need words underneath my, post caption titles underneath when I'm talking.
Yeah.
So understand me,
Yeah.
So
I get it.
Oh my God.
We got 2 great guests here tonight.
We're not off the rails yet.
I'm going to give Jennie, like always.
Let's bring them.
Let's get them on.
Have Jennie introduce
and
them.
Kimm doesn't even know where they are.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I am so happy to have these 2 live on the show because I'm fans of theirs on Facebook and their work. So please, everybody, welcome. We have Nick Carboni and Bree Hollingshead.
Hey, guys.
Hey.
There they are.
How you doing? How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
You gotta say it like that. How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah.
Thanks for being our 30th episode guest.
Yeah. We just appreciate you guys asking us to come on.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course.
You're welcome.
We're happy. Kimm doesn't know where you are. Can you? You can do the reveal. Can you tell her where you're located?
She has no idea what's the name of the building or state or anything.
We are actually located in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yep.
Oh,
Perfect.
yep. Not surprised. Okay. Okay. Now I can't wait to hear what's going to happen in those readings. Okay.
So in Indiana, because honestly, the middle of the Midwest is a little confusing to me still. Are you closer to Ohio or are you closer to
Fort Wayne? We're about 20 minutes from the Ohio border, 45 from Michigan, a couple hours from Illinois.
Yeah, we're in the northeast corner of Indiana.
Nice. Perfect.
Okay.
A lot of paranormal in the Midwest.
Right.
Yeah.
We talk about Ohio all the time as just being such a hotbed. So yeah, it's got to be right close to that.
Indiana's first time you had anybody from Indiana on.
That's true.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I think this is our first.
It's the first, We have everybody around the world,
so
Japan and
cool.
UK. Indiana we never had till tonight.
So represent, you guys.
You represent.
Oh God.
So
pressure's on now.
We usually start out with like the usual. All of Indiana is counting on you tonight. We usually start out with the usual, and I know it's a common question, but we love to know your background, how you got started in all this, how you met, everything. So
what your group name is.
Which one?
Yeah, give us all the goods.
Yeah. How you got started in the paranormal.
Do you want to go first?
I guess I'll go first. So let's see.
Okay.
Family's always been into the paranormal. All the women on my mom's side are all mediums. We've grown up in locations that have spirits. We watched all the shows. When they first came out, we were like, oh, cool. People actually do this, But I had no interest in actually doing all this stuff. It wasn't until I went through a really terrifying experience in my house and reached out to somebody, a shaman, and he came in and helped the situation. And I was intrigued. And my sister and I started Old World Paranormal Society in 2017. And we started it just to pay it forward, do residential cases, help people like I was helped. And that's the foundation of the group. That's what it was started on. It's still around. It's just we don't do as many. We'll get into that later. But yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I really had no interest in, all this stuff. Like it was just okay. At first, it was just residential cases. I wanted to learn everything I could do with religions, to research, to spiritualism, to everything, whatever it took to help people. And then I got invited to go to a place, and it was really cool. And I'm like, oh, so start traveling around and visiting places like everybody else. And then I got the opportunity to investigate a place in Fort Wayne called the Bell Mansion, and then eventually opened that place. And so that was a little bit of my history for a couple of years. No longer associated with them. Wrote a book, had a pretty successful podcast for a while until co-host and I split up, and just been taking a break. And then I don't know, we travel around helping location owners and helping people if they need help fixing the place up or anything. We do that. Now it's mainly me and Bree, and then we had the opportunity to open the State House, which you'll learn all about that here soon. And then now we are putting on a symposium here in Fort Wayne in November called Mysteries of the Fort, Paranormal Metaphysical Symposium. And we are highlighting,
Mysteries of the Fort.
People like us. We're not, people that are truly passionate about the field. This is all about networking and teaching and learning and just everything to do with paranormal and the metaphysical side. We're really pushing the metaphysical side, the spiritual side. And I'll let Bree yik yak for a while.
Nice.
So I'm Bree. Better known, I'm known for paranormal.
That's great.
I actually grew up gifted. I had my first experience at the age of 6, saw my first full-bodied apparition. My mom was gifted, grandparents, my aunt. And a lot of people say trauma will open you up or it will shut you down. I went through many years of some horrific trauma that ended up, the brain's a beautiful thing. Our bodies are magnificent at how they protect us from trauma. My brain kind of just shut it all off. I'd always still know about things. I'd seen things, but it never correlated to me. And my mom was who always helped me, and I lost my mom. It'll be 20 years this August. So I didn't have my mom to rely on and ask her questions anymore. So I went through a disillusionment of a marriage in 23, and my boys, my oldest just turned 21 and my middle will be 20 in August, they sat me down and they were like, Mom, you've done X, Y, and Z your whole life. You've been wife, you've been mom, you've raised your kids, you've raised others' kids. Why don't you figure out what you want to do? Pursue your passion. You raised us on the paranormal, watching the shows. Why don't you start pursuing the paranormal? So I did. And I was on my way to an event in North Carolina. And
that's true.
I was stopped at a rest stop and heard a voice telling me to make this basically make it epic, make this a road trip. And share it out. And so I did on Twitter. I stopped first at the Mothman, then I hit up Sweet Springs. I mean, all this stuff, just so people know, I didn't go in. I just saw it from the outside, and it was exciting seeing places you only see on TV.
Sure.
You know, finally getting a chance to see them. And so I posted about it, and people loved it. But for me, it wasn't, I was doing it for the follows or I was doing it for the likes. I did it to share with people. Like, this was my journey. And on social media, I was sharing it with my friends. And, you know, to me, I'm sharing it to my friends and my family. Like, I'm learning to love myself. It was like Julia Roberts and Runaway Bride. Like, how do you like your eggs? I like my eggs a little spooky, you know? So, but it was like during this time too, like I just started opening back up. I hate the term because I feel like people, when they hear it, they think of Whoopi Goldberg, you know, but like psychic medium, I can do past, present, future. I've got a lot of the giftings with that psychometry. That one's always interesting. But I got to wear gloves when I go to like old places. Like I have to wear gloves. So, like, because I'm a toucher, and I'll touch stuff and be like, oh crap, I don't want to see that, you know? But I ended up meeting Nick at MadCon and MadCon 6 in 2023. And we ended up at another Paracon the following weekend, and we haven't been apart since. So, and
yes, I mean, she drugged me pretty good, and then it's just now coming off.
He's moved me in at this point, so his ass is stuck. Well, you know,
I love it.
You know, it's our love for, obviously, the paranormal is huge, but our love for history is even bigger, I should say. We love architecture, and you know, it's just meeting wonderful people in the field. And the opportunity to help when we can is just something that's right up our alley, and we like to do. And you know, we've been huge advocates for safety in the paranormal. There's a lot of stuff in the paranormal that shouldn't be going on, and you know, somebody's got to speak out. We spoke out, continue to speak out, and I mean, it comes with your backlash, but you know, we can take it.
Yeah.
Right. No, I agree.
Nice. What a beautiful story.
Gosh. I know. I
also
love the
that you
words.
both-
Like Nick was like, help, 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 help. I
Yes.
love that word. Like, that's what you focus on. Help. You know,
Yeah,
you said the word help like 10 times, and I was like, this is beautiful.
yeah,
We love
no,
that.
like that's
You know,
our
because that's what we're here
focus.
for, right?
You know,
That's
the
your
premise,
mantra. Yeah, helping, of course.
the premise behind the paranormal is, you know, back in the day, is to find answers to the unknown, but also, you know, I don't know, I still can't wrap my head around this. Like, my thoughts of a paranormal team is, you know, to go out and help people in their homes, to help alleviate the haunting, find out what the haunting. It might not even be a haunting, it might be something else. It might just be the living people. I mean, there's so many layers to dissect in a case, but the more the years go on, less and less people do it, and it's more about content creating and shows and this or that. And it's like, in the beginning, traveling around the country to, you know, to these conventions and stuff and meeting new people, one of the questions I would ask people all the time was like, do you do residential cases? And 95% of the time they were like, no. I'm like, why?
Really?
Why not? Like, I don't understand.
I can't.
Well, we don't
can't
want to mess it
imagine.
up even more. Well, that's where the networking part comes in. And if you can't fix it, you find somebody that can. That's part of the job.
Yeah.
Amen.
So
Exactly.
you know, it still
That's what we
kind of
do.
like befuddles me a little bit that there's so many teams out there, but they just go to pay to play places. But anyway.
Yeah.
When I first got
It's a good way to put it.
doing stuff, I did do a lot of residential. We did a lot. We try to help and repeat. Someplace you repeat, you go back and help as much as you could. But then it gets to a point now, it's like after 2020, it's different out there right now. It's very different. And you want to go and help people, and it's, I don't know, you go into their homes and you try to do what you could, but it's, to me, it seems like different. They want more, they want Some people just want you to verify there's something there,
Mhm.
so they can put it on YouTube.
There are those people
Good
like
point.
Okay, you go in there. That's the majority of people I've been getting lately, and so I was like, I'm not doing. They want to follow you around the camera. You go, oh, look what's going on. Oh, look, there's an orb. Oh, that. I mean, it's like that's not what I want to go in
That's not
and help
helping.
somebody that's really have a problem.
Mhm.
And that's if somebody I know has a problem, I will go in and help. But there's too many people out there that call you up, and you go over there, and your intention is to help. Their intention is to make numbers on the viewings. You know, they want people. So that's a big problem right now
Yeah.
with going to residential because a lot of and you go in there and you say you're there for your intention to help. They're there just for viewers. You know, so it's
Well,
a
yeah,
different world out there now.
We've ran across some
Yeah.
families where we go out there
Mhm.
and there's a couple processes before we go out there, but we get there and they're, one of the first questions are you going to film this? And
Yeah.
okay, red flag. Like,
Yeah.
do you want
Yeah.
help or do you want notoriety?
That's
What
right.
do you
Right,
want?
exactly.
Because if you want notoriety, I can find some flashy people for you that'll get that for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
not me. So
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
No,
That's just
good point.
problem going out there. And I love helping when we have kids involved and as much as I had this one with an old woman and she was like 87, 88, and her daughter was like late 60s at the time. And we went there and I have it on I have it some evidence and stuff, but she wanted to hear from her husband again. So we did a spirit box and she was there, and they were off camera, her and the daughter, and the name Walter comes out. It says Walter. The old lady, the 86-year-old goes, "That's my grandfather. He built this house."
oh wow.
And the other one's,
Oh, wow.
yeah, and I have it on, but I think that was, and then at the end of the night, and we were going around the house and happened he was an electrician in almost like the Long Island Union. I'm in Queens right now, New York, and they're in Long Island, and it's the unions are pretty much like they're our sister union, local out there, and now we're in the city. And I was going around all night showing my union card and stuff, and he kept on contacting because he was a steward out there.
Mhm.
And at the end of the night, the woman hugs me and kisses me. She goes, "I never thought I'd hear from my father ever again."
Oh.
And she goes, "Where can I get one of those boxes?" And
Oh.
it was like the greatest thing that at the end of the night, she just hugged me and
Yeah.
thanked me for helping. And I never thought I heard from my father. And she was like so genuine. And the daughter also, she goes, they were tearing up when they were like, hugging me and thanking me. And I said, if you ever need me again,
Yeah.
give me a call, which they never have. I don't know whatever happened to them, but that was good like 10 years ago. But yeah,
Right.
that's not the best thing when you help
But it
somebody.
wasn't on TikTok. Exactly.
No, exactly. It's my own personal thing. I have them out of frame because when I do residence, I don't use if the people are in there, and I'm not going to use their stuff as evidence or to show as videos unless they give me permission.
Right.
But it was that's before big TikTok and like 10 years ago, TikTok and YouTube, and everybody was like, "Oh wow, check this out." It's not like that. Oh look, there's an orb. There must be a demon floating in the air.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
They're not that pretty.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Well,
We're
Brittany,
not
I
that
have a
special, I
question.
always say.
I have a question for you guys. So I've done residential stuff too. I mean, we all kind of do that. And, honestly, I find a lot of times just going in there and validating and reiterating what they're experiencing actually gets rid of most of the activity anyway, because you're just acknowledging what's there. They're feeling heard. The people who are living there are now like their anxiety level everything goes down. And I actually don't do a lot as far as I know there's a lot of people who pass spirits on or do blessings or all that stuff. So I don't know if you guys experience that too, like just going in and doing a reading or walking around and giving evidence that a lot of the activity seems to decrease.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is a very, all of it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. So, the last thing I want to do is pull out a piece of equipment. And, it kind of helps with a lot of years of doing this. Just going through questions can lead you to a certain path. And what I have found is 95% of the hauntings in the house always stem back to the living.
Sure.
Being whatever is going on in the people's lives at that time or in the near past is a reason for said haunting, whatever it shall be, good or bad. It's there because of a reason. Unless I say 95 because there is a 5% chance where it's just it's very random. Like you just get this stranger spirit that wanders in the house and he's just being a douche for a while and then he leaves. It's typically not the case. It's typically whatever's there is because of what's going on with the living in the house. It's nice now having Bree because I call her my cheat sheet because
I love that.
For myself, I feel energy very well, and I hear I hear disembodied voices and see shadow figures and stuff, but I am no medium whatsoever. So my process would be this long, but now having Bree, it's this long.
Yeah. Nice. Good work, Bree.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Love it.
I love it. And I'm not sensitive either. So I understand. I call them my flashlight because I feel like I'm in the dark and I say, which way do I go? Just shine the light so I know which way to go. Mm-hmm. Same thing. Cheat sheet, flashlight.
Yeah.
The worst ones are is where you go through everything and there's literally nothing in the house. There's nothing structurally wrong with the house. There's nothing spiritual. Mm-hmm. Like I had to sit down across the table and tell these people like, it's you need some help.
Yeah.
Like, you need help. Like go see somebody, and you're sitting across that table thinking, man, I hope they don't throw something at me or stab me or shoot me. But
no, but you're being honest. And what more can you do? That in the end, you need to just be honest. You're not there to make stuff up. That's not fair to them or you. So I get it. Yeah. I get it. Definitely. Yeah. I love those location cases. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, I've been to a location where we did the whole thing. I was with a psychic, and we're walking around, and I'm doing everything, to see if it's something. There was high EMFs in the building and that stuff. Being an electrician, so I know where to go. The panel was really, I could stand like a couple feet, and it's registering, and it was a lot of stuff like that. Then we found out that because they were saying there's things being tossed in the kitchen, this and that. They had a 13-year-old daughter that finally confessed to us at the end of the night, saying that she was hiding in cabinets, tossing stuff.
Nice. Creative.
Yeah. And the parents, So she was like doing all the hoax and stuff like that. And then you're driving 3 hours to get to the location, and then you go there, and then you find out that there's somebody. Yeah, she was throwing like a dish or whatever, and like she had a string that pulled dishes off the counter and everything. Nice. It was like a whole thing, and you're there, and it's like I just went like a couple hours walking around this place.
Yeah, you did great detective work.
God,
you got it. You figured it out.
Okay, that I've never had happen.
And the kid was hoaxing us. Huh? Yeah.
I've never had crazy. A hoax. Have you had a hoax?
So,
have we had a hoax?
That's unusual.
Yeah. No, it's not. Some people do that just for ratings.
I don't believe we've ever ran across a hoax. I've
I
been in
never
some
have.
pretty sticky situations.
Mhm.
I had a guy that he was
Ron. Sorry.
ex-military and served overseas, had X amount of unalivings, and he brought something back with him.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh.
he worked with this family and worked with this family. Like it would be okay. Then like 4 months later, he'd call. We would come back and this or that. Well, finally, Bree was out of town when this happened, so I took a very good friend of mine, Randall Smith. He's a well-known shaman, and my daughter, which she's a medium as well. And we were going to help this guy, and it went south. We were eventually, well, I mean, we got what we wanted to come out of him to see it.
Mm-hmm.
But the ramifications after that, like he went and got a hammer and started swinging.
Oh my goodness.
He picked up my friend, and I had to pry his arms out. I mean, he was going for stuff. Then he went to go get a pistol.
Oh
And that's
God.
when I had to take my team, my daughter,
Yeah.
his family, and rush them out of the house, barricade them across the street, and call 911.
Yeah.
Just this
Nice.
this is stuff that can happen, and it's
Yeah.
very unnerving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was a
Yeah.
possession, yes?
Yes.
Okay.
That's
One of the things that helps us in our group is the head of our group is a psychologist.
Mhm.
And people don't
that's
think, I think, even though they think paranormal, they don't think grief. They don't think mental, illness. They don't think those things and associate them. They
Mhm.
just think, haunting kind of thing. But having him, lead our team is essential. It's essential to have him lead our team as a
100%.
psychologist,
I would agree.
Mhm.
and a
Yeah.
therapist, yeah. So it's a wonderful thing to have him,
Mhm. Yeah,
and the other
he-
one's a police officer, so it's kind of a nice combination.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
like
point.
it. I like
Yeah.
it.
Good point.
Yeah, you can deal with all that.
Mhm.
And then there's me, the geek.
With the microphone in the background.
Right.
Got it, guys, right?
with
I
the
have to tell you-
DR60.
I know.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, Bree, I love your explorations. I love them. Like I loved
Mhm.
all your locations. I followed you on it. Like I'm a fan, first of all. You got to tell me what were some of your favorites? What were the ones that surprised you that you thought, oh, that's a lot different than I thought it would be?
Ooh.
Or
Good question.
Okay, so when he was doing this, like I actually got the chance to meet the family right before I went out, and I did a walkthrough of the house, and it was interesting. And like, because I was just coming into my gifts, it validated, because the thing that he had, I picked up on, and then I questioned myself because another medium had come in and was like, no, it's this. And I was like, oh, maybe I got it wrong. And I had to apologize, and then come to find out it was right. But when he was doing all of that, like when all hell broke loose, I was on a 3-week trip on the East Coast. So I was doing my whole, paranormal trip and Bree, hashtag be like Bree, trying to encourage people to, because as I learned to love myself, I wanted to inspire. Like I didn't do it for it to be what it was, but it as you know, Jenny, like it
Right.
blew up.
Mhm.
And so I was trying to really
It
hard
did.
use the platform to like encourage other people. Like I don't care if you knit, if you collect baseball cards, even to this day, like I still want to encourage people, like do what you love, find your passion,
Beautiful.
whatever it may be. If it's gardening, go for it. Lose yourself in that,
Right.
but on that
That's beautiful.
East Coast trip, even though I grew up in Ohio, like the farthest I had gone was like in high school, my parents would take us to Gettysburg every summer, so went to Gettysburg, but it was like I hadn't gone past there. And so like I was that's actually where I got my hoodie, was on this trip. Like I got to see Rhode Island, Massachusetts. I mean, one day I went through 5 states.
Nice.
Went from the New Jersey Pier Unity to oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of the place now, but it's like a half hour from the Lizzie Borden house, and Matt Warner runs it. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay.
Hoff's it's the Hartsuff Hall.
Hartsuff Hall.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it was like built like in the Revolution. And so like that was really interesting location to see and like feel the energy there. Like seeing something, because like in Ohio and like the farther west you go, you don't really have stuff that's like pre-revolution, you know, like that's like almost
that's right.
Like, not saying it doesn't exist, but it's very few and far in between. It was the people that were like, you know, Daniel Boone, that were going and trying to conquer the Wild West for people to like make their way west, you know. So it's seeing you know, that location and knowing the history and, you know, the Sons of the Revolution and Nick told you we're big history geek. So like I'm like drooling my way all the way across the East Coast for 3 weeks.
I thought it was for me, but I guess it wasn't.
Well, babe, I feel for you too, but you know,
you were just there support.
So
love it. I love it.
I would say the most awe-inspiring location that I went to, I actually, because I would go live on each location, and I think I was live almost 2 hours at this one, was Letchworth Village, and that one blew my freaking mind. Now,
you get to go to the cemetery there?
No, I didn't. So I went to like, I ended up like I followed
that place.
GPS, and it took me to like, I remember the parking lot, there was a church across the way, and it's now a public park. And so like I actually, like Nick was kind of like my handler while I was on the East Coast. Like he would always know where I was. If I had to park somewhere, if like I was not feeling comfortable, like I would send him pictures, like here's where the car is, just in case, you know.
This is where the murder happened.
I mean, but like he would know. Like I got off the live, because like being live, I wasn't worried. But as soon as I got off the live, like I remember this guy was walking and was acting really weird, and he kept following. But it was like the way like he followed, I was like, it was like I knew something was not right.
No,
I knew. And so like I'm on the phone with him, and like I'm even telling him like what he looks like. I'm like, this is what he looks like. This is how he's walking. This is what he's holding. You know, he's following too close. He's mumbling. Do you remember? Like I remember this guy like yesterday.
I don't remember.
But Letchworth, like, because my aunt was she was, if I remember correctly, one of the first children in the state of Ohio to get the polio vaccination. What a lot of people don't realize is the polio vaccination actually came out of Letchworth Village. So it started as men and women separated. Oh, yep, you got yours. Okay. And but like she was in the newspaper, she's got her picture, like she gave me all of this. And like it was a big honor to being like one of the first to get this. Like she didn't take a lot of hands. I mean, it was like such a great honor bestowed on a child, you know. But like walking and seeing and then like learning the history of like the overpopulation, I mean, just like any other asylum, like medical facility of that day and age, the abuse that would happen. And then I remember I was on the phone with Nick, and I walked up to a building, and I was watching 2 orderlies abuse children. And I'm telling him, like, this is what I'm hearing, and this is what I'm seeing. Like, it brought me to tears. And I was like, he's like, walk away. Like, I was like frozen in place. And he was like, Bree, you need to turn around. Like, he had to guide me via our call to like walk away. Cause that was like, I was really starting to open up on this trip. But Letchworth, I remember there's one building where the roof is gone, and you just see the metal framework. And I'm walking around the path, and they've got like this big ass fence around it. And I walk around the back, well, the fence is gone. It's like pushed down and trampled. And I'm like, it's kind of like they rolled out the red carpet. Like, I'm not live. Like
Straight up beanie.
Beanie all the way. Like, how can
Yeah.
I not? It's
Yeah,
like, like they're like, come
anybody
on,
looking?
come
No.
on. I should have sent you this picture, Anthony. So I go
You send it
and
to me now.
let me pull it up.
You send it to me now. I'll see if I can put it
That'd be
right
great.
on.
Okay, just bear with me for a second.
Sure.
I gotta get to the right year
Letchworth
one.
is one of the
Mm.
most amazing places, and it's such an unknown. Like
Oh,
people, it's not a big one that
yeah.
people
Yeah.
talk about. But I agree, Letchworth is incredible.
So I'm walking through this building and I'm nervous as hell already as it is walking through because I'm by myself. I have, in all honesty, no weapon but my right fist and not knowing what I'm going to see, what I'm going to come
Right.
across, And I turn down this hall and like I get the urge. I know somebody's in the room next to me. I just know. And so I stop, I automatically take a picture and I'm getting ready to walk down the hall still. And I start hearing like massive coughing, but like it was so lifelike. I'm like, I cannot tell, like, I know there's spirits here, but I don't know, like, is this paranormal? Is this human? Like, I value my life. I want to continue. Like,
Mhm.
and I
This is a person. That's what scares me. The person.
Yeah, and that's
The real person.
part.
That's the scary part is like an actual person in the room next to me.
Yeah. The Letchworth, I mean, I used to go to the cemetery there.
Right.
And the cemetery is found only like in the 80s. It was overgrown. And it was somebody was walking through the forest over there and found some like crosses, metal crosses as like grave markers. And they cleaned it up and everything. And there's so many people buried there, and then they had there was just numbers on these metal crosses. And then they found out some of the names. They didn't find out all the names, but they found out some of the names of the people that were buried there. So it was part of this field type of thing.
Yeah, I agree. And that place will sneak up on you. It really will. I agree with that's a great choice.
Okay.
So,
of course, it won't let me just like
Letchworth.
save it right away. Like it's like, no, we're gonna bury it in your pictures.
It's okay.
Is it a picture
like
as soon as I can get to it. But so Letchworth really blew me away. What is it? Medford, which was used in like Shutter Island. Walking through Medford, that blew me absolutely away.
Right.
I went to the Warrens Parapsychon while I was out there. And so like the next day I decided to do a tie-in to the Warrens and I actually went to Union Cemetery. So like for me, like the historian in me is like totally geeking out because like again, the Revolutionary War stars and like it's like watching Hocus Pocus with the graveyard and Hocus Pocus, like seeing old headstones that are like, 1600s, and I'm like, holy crap, because you don't get that in Ohio, you don't get that like out here, even in Indiana, those types of dates, and recognition.
Right.
So that blew me away.
Yeah, we have a lot of that.
I would say I ended up going to where was it? Mid-Orange. At one point, I was affiliated with an event company, and like I went out there. They had a huge event, and got it, and I'm sending it to you.
Okay.
It says
I like investigating there, Mid-Orange. I enjoyed investigating there.
Yeah, Mid-Orange was crazy, and like they had just opened one of the buildings up, and I was in there, and I remember it was during free roam. And I had gotten together with a group of people, and like there was like 3 other people with me, and we're investigating, and like you can hear people like it sounds like they're throwing the lockers on like the floor above us, but nobody's up there.
Right.
And then like my hair, like we're live, and as I'm live, because like my thing for being live wasn't like, oh, look at me, I want follows, I want gifts. It was, I want to bring investigating to the people who can't investigate, because there's people who can't afford, they can't physically, due to physical limitations, they can't go to these locations. You know, they're not handicapped
There you go.
accessible.
Right.
So like for me, was like,
travel.
I want
Right.
to share this. I want people to experience this that can't normally experience the locations. And like on camera, like you see my hair go up and then it comes back down, and then somebody sitting there like flicking it, and I'm like, please tell me you guys are getting this. Like I'm like frozen in spot, and like I could see the guy who was touching me, and I'm like thinking to myself, like, stop touching me. Like you're just like, and I'm getting off of him what he did in life, and I'm just like, you are a perverse SOB. Like, stop touching my hair. Like he had an affinity for touching hair. Like that was one of his things, and I was just like, get me out of here. Like, but I'm trying to like be like, you know, I don't run. And then
I got your picture.
You got the picture? Okay. So if you want to throw
Anthony,
it up,
you're not going to have that problem.
The hair problem? No.
So you can see what's in the
he's
picture
not going to
without
have that
zooming
hair
in.
problem.
In the window.
Yeah, so that's a broken window.
Yeah.
There's no glass and it's boarded over. If you zoom in on it, you will actually know that it is a nurse that is dressed from the 1910s.
Yeah, I see her.
And it's actually full bodied, where the end of the window is. You would think it stops, but you can actually trace the rest of her dress all the way down to the floor.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
And
I can see it without zooming.
Yeah. All I did was turn real quick and snapped one picture. And because that's when I started hearing the coughing. And for me, like Nick can tell you, when we take pictures, it's always in threes. You know, as an investigator,
right.
I mean, I don't care if it's a family reunion, you know, kids shut up.
I know.
You know,
you got 300 pictures of the same thing.
Well, sometimes family in spirit does come to those events.
And we've had stuff show up. So it's like I always take a lot of pictures, you know, and when we go places, even family things. But I would say my most so I've got a location that's near and dear to my heart through everything is the Wildwood Sanitarium. Brooke and Zach have become family to me, so I highly suggest letting everybody go there. I went and stayed for a week last year, helping moving furniture and cleaning up.
You're there for a week. That's awesome.
Like that's what Nick and I are huge into, is how can we give back? Like it's not about us. If I'm going live because I want people to see the location. I want them to see what is there. I want them to come and experience it. You know, I discovered a cat named Shiloh.
Participate.
At Wildwood. I should have sent you that video too, Anthony. I don't know why I didn't, but loud and clear. Like my first night that I was there in June, I'm sitting on a couch. My phone is in my small rig. I'm 2 feet back on the couch. And it's the night before, like Zach and I really rearrange a lot of the furniture and move stuff to different rooms. And you can hear a cat plain as day meowing and rubbing on my phone and purring. And like, there's no cat there. There has not been a cat there for 7 years. I've got videos while I was there of the cat balls not rolling gently off of a chair. Like they yeet off a chair, like a cat smacking a cat ball. Like it flew across the room, you know?
Really?
I mean, all of us have seen the full body apparatus pictures, the Class A EVPs. I'm telling you, what she caught at Wildwood with this cat, to me,
that's wild.
Is the greatest piece of evidence I have ever like listened or watched, because it is so loud. Like you question it, you're like, there's no fucking way there is a cat in that house. Okay,
right, there's got to be a cat.
It is so loud, and like Bree said, you can hear it rubbing on the phone.
Awesome.
It's
so cool.
It's ridiculous the way
Wildwood. I went there. Well, I've been there quite. I was like the third. I was like the third person team to ever go there when they first started out in 2017. So Brooke remembers me. And
you were there when Lori first got it.
Yeah, Lori just first got it, and the ceilings were collapsing. There was all kinds of stuff going on in there.
Yeah.
And so this is the pictures. I've just been there last year. So I drew some pictures. You know, I do the spirit art. That's what we talk about at Hand over. So this little girl. I was sleeping on the couch. She kept on playing with my toes, and she's coming out of the kitchen. Let me get.
This
That's
is
a drawing.
At Wildwood.
Yeah.
Wildwood. That's a little girl. She was coming out of the kitchen. Every time I tried to doze off, she would grab my toe and run back into the kitchen.
Oh,
She's still there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This little girl.
Mm-hmm. She's still there.
She's adorable.
She's there. I've seen her. I've interacted with her. She kept pulling on the covers when I was trying to sleep, like playing peekaboo almost. And I was like, honey,
yeah, she's very playful.
I brought a fan with me when I was there for a
that you
week
both
so
see
I
her.
could sleep.
Also, I seen this on the second floor, going from up the stair by the stairs, going from the second to the third floor. And matter of fact, these two pictures I sent to the to Brooke and Zach, and they said they're going to put them up. So here's the picture I seen of the little girl.
Oh,
yeah. Is this still
what color
Wildwood?
was the dress, Anthony?
Yeah, oh, this is 2023. Okay, that's like 2 years ago. And I seen her. I said, "You go up the stairs there, going to the third floor from the bottom."
Yeah.
In the back, right before the doll room.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's right outside of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I seen her just standing there. Right after the dolls, one of the dolls' faces actually changed, and the eyes turned from blue to black.
Yeah,
I sent you that video just so you know too, where you can hear the cat meowing if you wanted to.
Oh, great! Oh, you sent it to me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I love it when animals show
I love
up.
that we're talking. Everybody in the audience is like, "Wait."
I love it so much.
Adam's like,
I
"What's
went
our
to a place
location this week? We're not there yet. We're still talking about Wildwood."
Yeah, I know. We talk about we got it.
On our show
You know, we do have to get to the because we're gonna run out of time if we don't.
Adam's like, "I just got here. What's this week's location?" I'm like, "We're not even there yet. We're not even there yet. We're talking." Yeah, they were on our show. We saw that recently, Breck and Zach.
Yeah, they're good people. I like
They're so
them.
great. They're amazing.
Oh, we absolutely love them to death. They are like family.
I can see that. I can see you guys connecting.
I just heard a cat meow.
That's the video.
Is that it?
Are you playing the video?
Not at all. I'm downloading what you just. Oh, maybe. Did it just play by itself? I'm downloading it right now.
Telling you.
I'm just downloading it.
We actually, like when we were there last in October, we went and had an event.
This is so cool. I want to.
We actually had a spare cat tree and took a spare cat tree over there so people can try to investigate and interact with Shiloh. With John Griffin.
I know.
The Uni project. He actually is doing some really cool stuff, and he's got pictures of Shiloh, and it looks exactly what I described because it looks to me like almost like a Maine Coon, like real fluffy and like gray with like a white stripe. And he got pictures of this cat of Shiloh.
Cool.
That's incredible.
I just keep on meowing, but I can't get it. It won't let me put it on.
That's funny. It won't transfer over.
Yeah, I'm trying to transfer it over. Okay, let's see what happens here. And I keep on hearing meowing. And you can still hear it. Where's that coming from?
I can't hear it. I can't hear it on your microphone.
I'm hearing meow.
We don't hear it.
No,
okay, I'm down. I think it's letting me go. Let us try it now.
Okay. Oh, cool.
There it is.
I don't think it's playing the audio.
I don't know if the audio will play or not, though. Hopefully the audio comes through.
What happened? We heard it meow.
I heard it
before the video came up. Now the video's up and it's not doing nothing. What's going on? Hey, what's going on here?
Hey, what's happening here?
I don't understand this.
It looks like it's playing, fully playing.
It is playing.
Yeah.
But
I did hear in the very beginning, not a full like meow, but like a like you hear like that.
Well, if anything, Anthony can forward it to you guys.
If you want, I can play it on my phone.
Stopping our
you might have to because it's not. I'm not getting no meows here.
Well,
Oh
take
yeah,
it
we're
off.
animal friendly.
I'm
on
gonna
this
try
show,
it
that's for
one more
sure.
time. Let's see.
Yeah. And then maybe I can try on my
We
end.
love it.
Here, I can play it off my
Yeah.
phone.
Oh, well, hold on.
There
Let
you
him
go.
try one more time.
Sounds like
Let him.
yeah.
I'm re-downloading it.
Not a live
cat?
cat.
No, it's a dead cat.
No,
Not
it's a
unalive
cat
cat.
ghost.
Cat
Cat
ghost.
It's not doing it. I noticed it's not muting us neither.
Right.
It
Do you
usually
want me to
mutes us
try
when
it
we
on
don't
my
hear.
Not muting us.
Anthony, do you want me to try it on my end?
Go ahead.
Well, I mean, all they needs is sound. So
So here,
it's
I
not
can
working.
play the sound.
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead, play
Go
the
ahead,
sound.
Bree. Yeah, we
I'll
can
leave the
listen.
picture up.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Can you guys hear it?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's not somebody's stomach.
No, I'm by myself.
That's so
That's
loud.
so cool.
That's so cool. I love
It-
it. And there's no cat. Like even outside, you
No.
wouldn't be able to hear it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
No
wouldn't be
way.
able to
Not
hear a
like that
cat.
loud.
Well,
It
it's still
sounds like it's
going.
right
Hold
next
on.
to you.
Hold on. It's still playing.
Yeah, the whole clip is.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
Like that at the end is where it's rubbing on my phone, and my phone is in a small rig.
Yeah.
I'm sitting 2 feet back from it, and where I'm sitting at in the living room,
Mhm.
like I'm too far away. Even if there was a cat outside, if you've ever been to Wildwood, if there was a
Mhm.
cat meowing outside
Yeah.
for it to come
Yeah.
through that clear, you would not have had it.
Yeah, because
No.
as soon as you walk in, you got that like vestibule type of thing, and then you got the couch. Because where you are, you took the picture. That's where I was sleeping, and at the end of the hall, where the door is, that's where that girl was that I seen, and she was running. Every time she ran over, she grabbed my toe. Every time I started dozing off and ran back.
Well, and the reason I had the camera face that way is because there's one of the former caretakers from when it was a TB facility actually stays in the basement, and I was in the kitchen cleaning the kitchen and reorganizing because we were putting a coffee bar in there, and like I was going through a bunch of stuff,
Mhm.
and he literally like ran up the basement steps and like charged at me, like pushing me out of the kitchen, and he was like very adamant, like it's quiet time. The patients are sleeping. Stop. You're being too loud. And I was like,
Yeah.
time to put it down and investigate then, evidently. So I went and sat there because even with the kitchen light off, you could literally watch his shadow moving back and forth. And I had a friend on the live watching who at the time, like her husband's a police officer, and she has been a police officer for many years, at the time was a jailer. And she was actually kind of concerned because of how solid the mass was. She was like, "Are you sure you're by yourself? Like, this doesn't look like a shadow person
Right.
that you would normally see. This looks like a physical person in there with you." Like, she started freaking out. I was like, "I swear, I'm fine." Yeah, but by like night 4, like he showed up again,
Yeah.
and it even confused me at that point, like whether or not I really was alone.
Yeah, that place. If you go there, you see my name on the wall from 2017. I wrote it on it. My son and I.
Oh,
And then again in 2023, I have my name written on there again.
that's
And
one
my
of his
cards
favorites.
stapled on. I have my cards stapled on there too. So I think
one of
we
his
should,
favorites.
because we're gonna be
get
running
to
out of
our
time.
location. I
Yeah,
know.
I think the location. If you want to start talking about, I know I know Kim's all excited about it. So you want to start announcing, the location that you want to tell, or you want me to say it, the name?
We can say it if you want us to.
Yeah, I prefer you doing it.
Yeah, tell the audience because they don't even know either. Nobody
Yeah,
knows.
the audience doesn't know. Nobody
Tell
knows what the
everyone.
house
I don't
is.
know. Nobody
Because
knows.
even when I put the advertisement on,
kept it a secret
I don't
for
put it
Kim.
on. Yeah. So
Um,
the drum roll.
so in September of 24, we ended up moving mom out of Nick's childhood home. Mom bought the house in 1987. It was a loving family home for almost 35 years. And the house has a lot of mysteries to it. Let's just put it that way. We don't like to give a lot.
What's the name?
But the name,
What's the name?
I'm getting ready to get to it.
I want
As
to
you say the
hear
name,
it.
I'm going to show that.
Hold on.
Girl.
Hold on. I want to
She
hear.
said it was the creepy house.
I want to hear what Kimm has to say before we say exactly what it is.
Right, of course. No, we
Oh,
will.
you don't have to.
But
It's
what
all
do you call them?
pre-recorded.
It's already
It's all
recorded.
Yeah,
pre-recorded.
it's all pre-recorded.
So
It's already
we
recorded.
ended up
Done.
going in and investigating, and it was Nick, myself, his sister, who's a medium, Michelle, and his daughter Gabby, who's also medium. So he had 3 complete cheat sheets. Lucky guy that night. And the 4 of us walked out
Yeah,
literally
really.
going, "What the hell?"
Wow.
Like, it blew our minds. And so we started inviting
Wow.
people around the country that Nick and I trusted in the field that we knew would do a clean investigation and would do everything in their power to validate, debunk. They wouldn't try to blow things up for out of proportion. And the first group had 10, 15 Class A EVPs that were very valid to the location,
Whoa.
to the family. So we did a soft opening because mom was selling the house. And January, we sat down with mom, and Nick was like, "Mom, I really think that this could be beneficial. Like, this could help set you up, and this could be a family legacy. Let's open it." And the house is called the State House
Oh, cool. Why the State House?
because it's on
State Street.
it's on State Boulevard.
Yep. Okay, fair.
That narrows it down. I'm going
my
to show the couple
God.
pictures.
The State House.
The State House.
Back.
Yeah,
Not the Indiana State House. The State House.
it's
Yeah.
yeah. And see, I'm from
Yeah.
Ohio, so we know how to do the very proficiently. So it's the
Not
State
duh.
Right.
State House.
Not
No.
You
duh.
gotta do
State
a
House.
phonetic pause after the.
Duh. Duh. State
Not
House.
the,
It's
not the,
the State
not the
House.
steakhouse,
The.
Anthony.
Is it
The
the or
State
the?
House.
Duh.
The
Duh.
State-
State House.
There we go.
The.
Just like the team in Ohio.
That's a cool
We
picture.
make it sound better.
That's
That's a
cool.
nice picture. So
So,
you sent me a bunch of pictures, and I want to go through that because then you send me videos, and I want to make sure we get enough time to
Yeah,
play all the
let's do it.
videos and everything,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then get Kimm on
Yep.
here,
definitely.
to do her little thing. All right,
Well,
here.
I'll do my video after you show one of the
Little thing.
pictures. So one of the
Okay.
pictures that I read,
Perfect.
then we'll go to the video and then go back to more pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Perfect.
This is the basement.
the plan.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can
wow.
see.
That's a cool picture too.
Yeah,
That's a good photographer.
I mean, what I find amazing
Oh,
that
thank
I
you.
like that.
everything is open, so spirit can't really hide behind any clutter.
Well,
That's
there's someone
true.
who would like to hide behind stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Some
Did you get this picture, Kim?
Yeah, so I read the basement. Yep.
Okay.
I guess it won't make sense if we do the basement
did.
first. Because I did another, but keep going.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kimm, do you see the pictures? Do you want to go and pick out the ones that you did?
Sure.
Pick out
We
the
can
ones
do
you
it that
did.
way.
We'll show it that way, and then
Okay.
you can play your
Let's hear your
your
reading.
reading.
Perfect. Yeah, I want to go to the front of the house.
Yeah.
Gosh, this picture. Oh my God, they're so tiny on here, right, Anthony?
Yeah, I know. That's why I write name. But when it comes to like the locations, like
This
the
one.
different ones-
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell us about this
Okay.
picture. What happens here?
Oh, you want to
Oh.
know from us?
Yeah. She has a pre-recorded. She's pre-recorded already, so you can tell her, and then we'll play the pre-recorded, so you can see.
That's the living room.
So do you want
Okay.
to know like what we experienced or have experienced in there?
Kim,
Yes,
why don't you play what Kim? Why don't you just play what you experienced, and then they can tell you.
I guess. Okay, we can
Okay.
do it.
And then we'll
I'm
validate
being strict
it.
here, huh?
All right.
Yeah. Put your foot down, Anthony.
Okay, we have another location for our guest this week. I'm going to start with this photo here. I got some photos of a house inside a house. This is quite a creepy house, actually. I do feel like there is a bit of a cloud over this house, meaning I feel like either this house can't be sold or has been sold or abandoned. There's something here that it's very difficult to have people stay in this house or buy this house and stay in this house. Whether that means that the people buy this house and then immediately leave, or they just can't simply sell the house. There is quite a reason for this. There is an entity here. I do feel like he is male. I feel like he is very sad, very intense male, but he actually shows up to people in this house in different ways, meaning I'm seeing him show up as a shadow figure. I'm seeing him show up as a young child. I'm seeing him show up as just a figure. And he's really trying to intimidate. He's really trying to get people out of this house. This feels like his house or his kind of experience in this house. He feels like a very melancholy individual when in life. I'm not sure if there was something to do with him ending his own life, either in this house or in general. He is here and he kind of has this like dark cloud over the house. Doesn't feel very good when you go into this house. People don't feel good staying here. They don't feel good living here. In fact, I don't feel like people want to live here at all. It's kind of like the words are almost even like the land is cursed, or like this house is cursed, can't keep people here. So I have this other room up here, again, like an empty kind of dark room. Again, I feel like he's up here, he's in this room too, so he kind of has full access to the house. Footsteps, I feel like you would hear this like shuffling footsteps behind you.
Get rid of that picture.
Cool. Why are you laughing? Let us know. Tell us about that room.
Okay, that room, the living room. So when I do Estes, I channel.
He's like, here we go.
I start off
Nick.
doing hearing, and then it's like I'll go into visions. In that room, I keep seeing a woman, very thin. She's got her hands, and this is like 1800, like she's dressed like late 1800s, early 1900s. A doctor always walks in and goes upstairs, and I keep hearing 6. So I don't know if it's 6 kids or 6 in the family, but I feel like it's more 6 in the family. And I feel like one of the children of that family did die. I feel like there was an illness that ran through the home, but the home looks completely different than how it is set up now. Like I see like the wooden furniture. I see the way the fireplace is, like the lady's husband, the way he's leaning on it. So there's a lot of people though with the living room, a lot of people call it like they feel like they're safe there in the living room. We get a lot of playfulness in the living room. I've never felt for me, the safe place in the house was always the dining room and the kitchen, because that's where mom and I would be, like, because she's a retired cosmetologist, so she'll do my hair, and like we would cook or bake together. Like they never really bothered me in that area of the house, but when I would go and spend time with mom, they always showed up to me in the living room bugging me. So like I'm kind of like meh, like it's a living room, like. And everybody's like, oh, but you can feel like it's a loving environment. It's the heart of the home. And I'm like, maybe I don't, because they always bothered me in this room. Like, so my perception of the living room is completely different than like Nick's or somebody else's. But the room in the second picture you showed was mom's bedroom when they first moved in. And there is, I know a lot of places say they have a lady in white, and it's so cliche, but we do have a lady in white. That is her room, and it's actually the mother of the children that I saw downstairs. There's a lot of interesting aspects. I'll let Nick.
So you picked up on a very depressed trickster of a man that puts a cloud on the house. There are a couple male figures in this house, one being my stepfather. Okay. And there's another gentleman there, which is he is kind of the protector of the property. He has been called there, from what we understand, from my stepdad. So there must be a connection there. But he will dictate
Interesting.
what goes on in that house. So,
Oh yeah.
But you know,
Okay.
as far as the cloud of selling it, I don't. There were some things that reason why it didn't sell, but you know, we lived in it from 87 to September of 2024. Before that, see, this is where it gets really interesting. So when Mom bought the house in 87, about a year after we moved in, a couple stopped by, an older couple. And Mom, you know, this is the 80s where we let people in the house, not like today.
Yeah.
Would you like
Yeah, of
drink?
course.
Would you like cookies?
Great
You know?
point.
You don't do that?
Yeah,
Anthony?
go away. But this couple, the lady was she didn't have much longer to live, and what she was doing was going back to places that she loved. She lived in this house at some point.
Oh,
Okay.
how nice.
Now the story she tells us is where our house sits. That's not where it was built.
Wow.
It was moved from almost a block down.
Mm-hmm.
So
Interesting.
we don't know exactly how old the house is, because the deed of the house is from when it was moved in the 40s. Now, when you're upstairs, at some point, the house was turned into a duplex. So the upstairs was an apartment. So that picture you were looking at, that was my mom's bedroom when we moved in, would have been the living room for the apartment upstairs. Now, this is where it gets.
I see. Okay.
There are so many layers and layers to this house that we're finding out. So every room upstairs. So obviously there was a kitchen upstairs. There was a living room, kitchen, bedroom, and a bathroom. But every room upstairs has in the wall, you could see hot, cold, and a drain. Like there had been a sink in there.
Yeah.
Never really like
Okay.
I always thought it was odd, but it was like, okay, whatever. It's an old home. Who knows? Maybe it's a weird heating system back then. I don't know. But now all these teams are coming in and mediums, and they're picking up, including Bree. She sees them all the time. There's a doctor there.
Oh yeah, there's
a nurse there.
ones.
So from us not knowing exactly what that building was a block down back in the day, it could have been a doctor's office, could have been a dentist's office, it could have been something like that.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
the sinks upstairs.
Could have been.
Now-
Could have been.
Or a
With
boarding
the
house.
black
And that would
cloud.
explain all the
Yeah.
walking too. Like,
Like the
Yeah.
black cloud though.
do you hear footsteps in the house?
Oh my god, all the time.
All the
So
time. It's crazy. It's crazy.
in the basement,
Like she said,
Um,
yeah. Okay.
I've come across two different sets of siblings. One set is boys, one
Okay.
set is girls. They run from the basement upstairs to the attic,
Wow.
and they are slaves on the Underground Railroad. I've seen,
Whoa.
yeah.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
now was it when it was that house down the block, or was it for a building that was on that piece of land? Like, we need to do that deep dive on the house now that we've
Mhm.
decided.
Right.
Now you got to think it's only been, we did a soft opening for like a month and a half, and it's only been like open, like really big open for everybody since January, 1st, when Mom gave her blessing
Yeah,
for
that's
us to proceed. It's a family, and this is what I love about it, is it's a family function. Like, her and Michelle handle the back, and Nick and I, we cooperate it publicly, pushing it out there, giving the tours, letting the teams in. But this is where I think it's so important, and I know a lot of people like mediums, and it feel like I'm kind of both ways as a medium. I love knowing the history, but it's like, as a medium, like, I want to give a genuine reading to a location. But the thing of it is that you need to look into the history. It definitely, that's a good thought, but I will say no. It's that doesn't play hand into it. This is where the history of the land comes into play. Now, if you know anything about Fort Wayne, it's Fort Wayne because we had at one point 3 different forts. We do have a replica fort. That is not where any of the forts actually stood. During the War of 1812, all 3 were burned down at separate times. So the Native Americans, Indiana stems from land of the Indians. Up, you can find maps into the 1820s where Allen County, where Fort Wayne is actually still Indian territory, is what you will say on the maps. There was a lot of burial grounds around Fort Wayne that were actually completely bulldozed down to build the neighborhoods. Where the house sits, it's a mile and a half from Spy Run, which was a pivotal point during the War of 1812. It's also where a lot of like the infamous specific Native Americans did have their burial mounds at. We're also a mile and a half away from a location that was a hospital for the feeble-minded. We're a mile and a half away from a monastery. Now people have come across priests, they've come across monks. People have come across nurses covered in, in blood and whatnot. So it's like the land plays a huge part. We're at 9 documented languages at this point, 2 different variations of Native American. My aunt is one of them. You get French, German, Spanish, Russian, Czech, Polish, and there's
these are languages that you've picked up in investigations.
Yep. Yeah, that it comes through in spirit boxes, geo boxes, SB7s. I mean,
amazing.
People are getting it during the Estes sessions. And it's insane. There are a few very special things about the home. Like I said, it's shrouded in mystery. That was me alluding to the fact that it's not originally where it sat. It also was a duplex, so that adds another layer of mystery to it. But there's other things that are very special to this house that I think people need to come for themselves to experience it firsthand, because
so what we're trying to do with this house is, obviously we had things happen throughout the 30 some odd years, but it was like, but now that we are full attention, we're like, holy crap. And then now letting more people in. So I think now, we had our cast of characters, we have all that rich history of the land, but now, that this place is in the spiritual realm. It's like, I go here, they're going to communicate with me. They're going to talk to me. So there's a lot more, people in there.
Right.
We got 2 more readings from Kimm. So want her to get
go
that.
for it.
Kimm, just bring up the pictures that you read.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't want to waste time on it.
The next one's the kitchen. So I'm going to show the kitchen picture. So is this the kitchen you were talking about, Bree?
Yeah.
Or is it a different kitchen? Okay.
No, that's the kitchen, because that's like where the big dining room table was.
Okay.
That's where she did all of her baking, and I would be in there. I remember I helped her one Christmas getting stuff ready, and you'd sit at the sink rinsing your hair when she was coloring it. So yeah, everything happened right there.
Great. So you both. So I guess I'm a little confused. You both lived in this house too with Nick's family, and Nick lived in this house his whole life.
I moved in when we were 7. I moved out at 19. So I haven't lived there since I was 19 years old.
Gotcha. But your family was there.
My mom
still owns it.
Yeah.
Yes, my mom still owns it. So
got it. Gotcha.
Yep.
Cool.
My stepdad passed in May of 23.
Yeah, that is cool.
Was it 23 or 22?
Yeah, May of 23.
23.
Like I was like 5 months late to the party to meet him.
Yeah, so it took her a while. It's a big house for one person, and it's very old, a lot of upkeep. So it took her a while to realize, hey, need to downsize. So, but
then now the house is used as a public paranormal investigating.
Yeah, they just started in January with it.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, it's now we the technical name for the location is the State House Research Center LLC. So we're
Awesome. So
providing
anybody who's
a
watching,
safe,
you know, and cool.
yeah, we're providing a safe location for people to come in. If you've got a new theory, a new piece of equipment, you want to try something different, you want to think outside of the box, you know, especially with the stance that Nick and I have publicly taken with safety in the paranormal field, that you are going to be in a safe location. It's also a residential location. So that means that we have to make sure that we keep a high standard for people when we book. Like, we don't require a deposit. We require all names of those that are going to be at the location. It's just a way to make sure that we're keeping everybody in the building safe. Plus, it's family. It's our family that goes to let people in. If Nick and I are traveling, it's going to be Mom and Michelle. If it's not them, my two boys, they're trained. They'll come and let you in and give you the tour. So it's making sure our family is safe. It's making sure the neighbors are safe. Like, do we do background checks? No. But because people know the stance that we take, you know, we have been given names. And if we notice a name on a list, then we might have to talk to somebody. You know, it's just a way that we want to make sure teams are safe as well, too.
So, Kim, why don't you finish do your video
No, it makes sense.
on that?
Let's do it. So the other thing I want to talk about, so here's the kitchen photo. Here specifically, I want to talk about poltergeist activity, meaning I think chairs move. I think items move off the shelves, like fly off the shelves. There's, quite a bit of activity. Cabinets open, stuff like that. People would be really shocked if they would live here to have these experiences, because they would all of a sudden suddenly become real that there is paranormal activity in the world. So the other thing I want to talk about here is I feel like I'm in the Midwest here, and I'm going to explain why I believe I'm in the Midwest. I feel like I'm either in Illinois, Ohio, in that kind of like flatland area. I think Indiana's in that too, those three. And the reason why I say this is because it does feel like there is some association with the land here as to why this house is having issues. Some reason there's quite strong land energies in this kind of area. I'm talking Ohio, Illinois, Indiana, Native American and land, not only Native American, but also land energies that are very intense, very strong, and they can kind of deeply affect houses and locations. For some reason, it's almost like if there's paranormal activity in these areas, they're more intense and they're darker for some reason.
Nailed it.
Well, I'm going to explain more about this because I don't know why this is, but I can literally feel the Native American energy that comes from that area. And there's no words to describe it. It's like a feeling. I don't know if you've experienced that too, Nick, but what it does is for some reason it like illuminates or heightens activity. So you guys are talking about all kinds of languages being noticed there, like recorded there, you know, all kinds of different personnel that could be coming in from different areas. Like, we don't have that in New Jersey. We don't have that kind of like not wandering, but just like the freedom. There's something about the land in that kind of area in the Midwest that just really heightens the clarity of spirit in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's funny you mentioned the poltergeist stuff because that does happen quite often in that area, in the living room, or not the living room, the dining room, and the kitchen. And paranormal investigators that have been there have witnessed stuff move. You know, so
we had a team tell us that they watched keys slide down the counter.
Cool.
Nice.
That's wow. So, Kim, you got a couple more. Let's talk because they got videos also.
Kim, you
and I don't want to run out of time.
So we already saw the basement photo,
more.
so I'll just go right into it. Go to the stairs now.
Okay.
I do feel like there is quite a strong presence of this man in the basement. He's here because he doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't really want to be bothered, really. So he's more down here, but this is also where it kind of mixes with the Native American. Now, the Native American energy feels strong. It feels solid. It feels tied to this land. But again, it's influencing the strength of the entities that can be expressing themselves. But I am feeling mostly that one man who does show up as different shapes. So there may be a woman's voice here or a girl's voice, but I really think it's still this entity. Down these stairs, I want to talk about, somebody falling down the stairs, slipping on the stairs, pushed down the stairs. This is still the stairs going down into the basement. Yeah, and again, another basement picture. Really spooky down here. You would not feel good down here. You would not want to be down here by yourself. There's a sense of loneliness with this gentleman, almost like a perpetual storyline. I feel lonely. At the same time, he wants to be lonely. So it's kind of this self-fulfilling prophecy. I do believe you would be able to find the individual who lived here through deeds and documents. M name is coming up with this. Could be Michael. He is telling me about an obituary. He is telling me something about cigars or cigarette smoke that people might smell in association with him. And it's just, he wants to be left alone. He wants to be isolated and left alone. But what does this do? This creates an aura around this structure where it's very difficult to thrive and have people wanting to stay here, because he really doesn't want people to be here. He just wants to be left alone. Interesting. So I'd be very curious to know the history of this location and to see if any of this information resonates.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. I mean, everything you've said, you've been pretty spot on. So she just got
I can't believe you said Illinois. Like what? Or Ohio? Like you were so close, and we did not tell her who was coming on or what.
Yeah, she had no idea.
But it's just honestly, it's the Native American energy that gave it away. That's the energy that gave it the location.
Yeah, we talk about this all the time.
Yeah.
With Ohio, we talk about it.
Yeah.
So what? Another
we have
interesting.
George Washington here in New Jersey. He slept everywhere.
Yeah.
But we don't have that same Native American energy that you guys have. All we have is George Washington.
So another unique thing about Fort Wayne, like Pittsburgh has the three rivers right there, smack dab in the middle of the city. Fort Wayne's the same way. We have three rivers that meet at our downtown area, and they had forts at different spots. That basement, so that back corner on the second photo, like even living there as a kid or an adult, like you didn't go back there. That was the forbidden zone. Nobody liked being in the basement. You went down there to do your laundry, and then you hauled balls upstairs. Like
that's funny. You ran upstairs. Oh my gosh.
And it's crazy.
That's
so
funny.
every tour that we've done, like an intuitive person or a medium, they're doing their walkthrough of the house. As soon as they get to the basement, they literally beeline to that corner. And I don't know. I mean, I had somebody reach out. He's like, man, I'll pay you $10,000 if I can dig up that concrete in the back and replace it. I swear there's something like buried over in that corner. And I'm like, it's a possibility. There could be Native American bones down there, but it's very unique. Like in the basement, the basement is just a lot of residual comes into the basement. I remember one of the first investigations, we had a portal box going, and I'm like, we're all sitting there and it sounded like gunfire. And then it happened again, but I'm like, no, that's like musket. And the only other time I've heard that is in Gettysburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about it. And then we had like another big group come in. They're friends of ours, and he's a tech guy and he's got some stuff going in the basement. And sure enough, it happens again. And I'm like, wow, that is just insane.
Oh, we probably won't be digging it up. No.
My mom won't sign off on that.
I'd be so curious, but
you don't mess around with the foundation,
I feel like it's on the other side of the on the outside is what I feel. I feel like it's on the other side, and it's like
you don't know where.
people walk through the basement wall, which really leads me to believe that
my gosh.
it's in the ground. It's in the ground, and it's either right next to the house or it's somewhere in line where they're coming through. When I mentioned the different languages, that's where we get a Frenchman, and I keep seeing exactly what he looks like, and I won't say it for anybody who's watching that wants to come. I want people to have their own experience. But other mediums that have been there have described the exact same Frenchman. And in very broken English, he asks, "Where's the foot?" But it sounds like he's saying foot instead of fort in his broken, very French accent. And he comes through a lot.
But isn't the name Foot a French name?
What?
Yeah. But I think he's
Yeah.
saying fort.
I mean, I say foot because I knew a fellow I worked with, and his heritage is from France, and his name the Foot Foote. So maybe also, I mean, I got
Maybe
two
he
questions.
just has an accent.
I got two questions about. First of all, the land that you're on, you don't know any history of it. So maybe during the war, maybe it could have been tents there or something like that.
Yeah.
Some kind of tents. So you're getting all the different languages,
Sure.
maybe because there's different soldiers that were put to fight. And second of all, the second question I have, the first property that the house was on, you said you came across the railroad there for the Civil War. I'm just thinking maybe on the property that came off of, there might be underground tunnels too that they used to come into the house with.
It's possible.
The location? Because if you gain French, slaves from New Orleans would be coming up. They'd be speaking French.
Yeah, I know that there's a tree in the backyard where the house sits now. And I kept seeing this tree, and I see one of the slaves being lynched from the tree. And I'm like, but the trees, it's not the tree that's in the backyard, but the tree was in the backyard.
That's awesome.
And then I kept describing what this is what the tree, it's hard to describe a tree,
It's a tree.
It's a tree. It's not a pine tree. I can tell you that much. It doesn't have buckeyes falling off of it or walnuts, but it's a tree.
Branches.
And Mom recently, because we are putting some pieces of the family history into the home, and she gave me a picture to hang up in the house, and it's Michelle and Nick standing in the backyard, and I about lost my ever living mind because I was like, that's the tree that I see the man being lynched on, but the tree's not there anymore, and it's like, could there have been something there? I've had other visions of like encampments and, sick bay, like sick tents. And, it's all very plausible. It's all very possible. This again is where we need to do a deep dive into troop placement around, because we are not even 5 minutes from downtown. Somebody asked how close is a river. So we got the Three Rivers.
It's about a mile.
And it's about a mile from the house. It's
that's close.
than the hospital for the feeble-minded. So
you gave me some videos. I'd like to play that before we run out of time.
Yeah.
Those are from this past weekend when we investigated.
Get to it.
Did you?
Nice.
Okay. I'm just gonna play them in the order you gave them to me because I just put some names down so I could identify them, but I'm not sure if I correctly labeled them. So I'm going to just play them.
Okay.
Oh.
Something just flashed. Something's flashing like crazy in the living room. I'm watching it. Dude, that's upstairs. That is upstairs.
Holy shit.
Did you hear? Oh my God. I have
goosebumps.
Okay, guys, we've got one of those. It's motion sensor doorbell. We've only had that go off in one other place, and that was at Woodlawn in Kentucky.
Yeah. That scared the shit out of us.
Yeah, so that's upstairs. I've got that upstairs at the top of the stairs.
Can you do that again? That was pretty awesome.
It's at the top of the stairs and it's pointed. So if anybody walks in front of it coming from like the bathroom to go downstairs. Wow.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
And it went off a total
I
of
love
3
that.
times
Motion
that
sensors.
night.
This
Yeah, I love
that.
them.
I was just
little
let's
cheap
see.
doorbell thing
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
$9.95 on
sure.
Amazon.
Yeah,
So
no, I
Bree and
love
I were
it.
the only ones in the house, and Bree put this at the top of the stairs, so it's going across the stairs like this. So if something was to come, and we weren't expecting it, we were just starting.
Yeah, it went off. We walked
Clearly
into the
not.
living room,
Yeah.
it goes off, and when we go to leave the living room to move to another room downstairs, it goes off again. So it was, and then it was like at that point, because we go upstairs, like, okay, let's make sure there's, like, let's show, because we're running live, we're advertising for the house, trying to show people the activity, and let's show them what we have upstairs and how this can't go off by itself.
Mm-hmm.
And at that, it was like they started literally the spirit started playing cat and mouse, because once we got upstairs, all the equipment downstairs started going ape shit crazy. So
Right.
Did you say all these
I agree with
videos
you.
are from
Like,
this
when that-
weekend?
Just something
yeah,
like that
they're
going
from
off
Friday,
upstairs,
Saturday.
Creepy.
All right, because I still do. I have one that says I just put ringing. I'm gonna play that one next.
Okay.
Yeah, play it.
I'm not sure if that's still the same. You
Okay.
said went off 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, that was me.
It's nonstop going off.
I almost feel like we're being told to come down. Okay, not almost. We are being told to come down. So that right there is what's going off. And now we're downstairs, it stopped. Yeah, now we're in downstairs again. Yes.
Are you fucking with us?
Half Oz just goes, they are messing with you.
What's up with that?
Yeah, I just had you guys upstairs. So, and now we're downstairs. Yes? Do you want me to go back upstairs?
No.
Yeah, so that's what I was saying. Like, we went upstairs because at that point we're showing everybody like
funny.
what we have. And then and what that is that's actually Lauren Hellickson's crystal pod.
Okay.
And we've taken that to Hinsdale, Wildwood. I mean, you name it, it's been there. It's got a lot of miles on it. And that thing has only gone off in 2 locations. It went off at the house that we moved me out of in Wilmington, Ohio. And it goes off like insane. Every time we pull it out in the state house, they are drawn to it like kids, like,
Yeah, that you
To a flame.
Yeah, thank you.
like. They don't like the regular REM pods, but they like the crystal pod. Like that thing goes off all the time there.
And I'll watch a little kid run up and grab the antenna, and he giggles and he runs away and he thinks it's the coolest thing. He won't touch the red REM pod, but he'll touch that proximity device and make that go off. So I don't know if he likes the amethyst and the selenite that's on my top lid.
Sure.
The purple light. I don't know, but I'm not gonna scoff at it. The fact that this is a tried and true piece of equipment, it's not like a regular REM pod that'll go off if you sneeze the wrong way,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Just being honest.
I have one with a crystal. It gets more attention too.
I got one more video. I want to get that in because I said, I want to make sure you play your thing.
Let's see it.
Okay. I'm not sure which one this is.
This one, it's actually calling out people that have previously been to the location.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Did it just say Gabby?
Mm-hmm.
Sound like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it did.
Spirits, do you like that Gabby's ignoring you? Hi.
Lisa said that she thought it also said Jeff. Do it.
All right, so what do you want us to do? Do you want us to do an Estes session here in the living room or go to the portal room?
Estes in the living room or portal room, guys?
I'm not sure if it did or not.
What?
Just say daughter.
Yeah.
Are you guys calling out Jeff Fent?
Or was that high? They're saying portal on mine.
No. All right, let's go.
Let's do the portal.
Here we go.
All right. Gina. It just said Gina.
Did it really?
Yeah. And it just said Jeff Fent. I swear to God, it just said Jeff Fent. Did you guys on the live hear it say Jeff Fent?
That's funny.
What the fuck was that?
What?
There was a loud thump behind me in the living room.
They are fucking with us.
Hard. Yeah, they heard it on the live too. The Jeff.
Somebody needs to clip that and send it to Jeff.
Yeah.
They're talking shit about you, dude.
No. Elise goes, dude, I thought that was you guys. Nope, that wasn't us that said Jeff. Like, we said Jeff earlier, that was it.
Wow.
I have one question in there.
This is our language. We are very
Animated.
animated.
We get
Hey,
excited.
I'm a construction worker. You don't have to tell me about animated language.
I didn't even know
I got
that.
a question. Was there a
You're my
cat?
people.
Was there a cat there?
That's a good question. So we did. We
Because
did
when right before he says or in that area, I heard a cat meow.
so one of our cats did pass away in the house in the kitchen.
Oh.
People see her all the time,
I've seen two there.
so it's possible. It's possible.
Because I heard it's like a disembodied meow. It wasn't like part of any of your
Oh,
equipment.
wow.
Well,
It
I did have Mexican earlier. It could have been a grumble from my stomach.
Oh, well, I know the difference between Mexican
We
food
always
and
talk
you
about
don't have to talk to me about food.
Wait, rule number one: no Mexican before
You
You
Mexican.
always do Mexican. You gotta have Mexican. You got to. You got to.
Oh,
I know.
I love my
I
White
know.
Castle before investigation,
I
but they
know.
won't let me.
So, don't know if you guys know who Jeff Fent is. He makes the Geo boxes. He does a lot of volunteer work for Adam Kimmel.
Yep.
And he's all the time at Fairfield County Infirmary. So when
Yep.
I mentioned how we invited friends to come in and investigate and validate Jeff Fent and Gina Vlasbaum, who is out of Michigan, where the two people were one of the groups that we invited in, but they actually investigated together there. And they were just real hell-bent on Friday night. All they wanted to talk about at one point was Jeff Fent, and then you'd hear a voice come in, and Gina.
Wow.
Like somebody
I
like
heard that. And I heard the second Jeff Fent was so clear. And when you guys said, do you want to do Estes or Portal? I write everything down. I heard a low voice right away say Portal, like right away.
Yeah.
I don't know if you responded to it. Let me go back and listen.
Well, like we're live,
Like, very low,
so
but I
we were
heard
like
Portal
waiting for like
almost right away.
like the people that were watching, like because we always like to have an interactive live, like not
I
only
love that.
trying to advertise, but we wanted people to like enjoy, like, again, it goes back to people being able to experience something that they might not have,
Yes.
Right.
Sure.
view.
And
So,
they catch things. They catch a lot, people.
yeah.
On lives, they catch a lot of things.
Oh,
Like
they
I
do,
see you
especially if
just
they got
behind you.
earbuds in. Like, if
Yeah.
they're wearing earbuds, you gotta
Yes.
think about, they're doing real-time EVP work.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mhm.
I
Agreed.
how many times
Yep.
we'll have people message us timestamps.
I love it.
Yeah, like
The
you can-
cat,
yeah,
the
you got
Wildwood cat, Bree had no idea. Somebody on TikTok
Yep.
Live caught that.
Yeah, that was a
Wow,
viewer that
It's
caught
the
it.
best.
Well,
But
you know this also.
so
It's a
It's coming to a
collaboration.
microphone.
sounds like a book hits the
It's like-
floor, like you hear a loud
Yeah.
thump, and that's
Mhm.
like right behind me. Like,
Yep.
and it scared me because I was just like, I mean, normally I don't jump, but it was like,
What?
No,
I mean, it's coming
that's
to a
scary.
microphone. It's
Like
like
it's startling. You get
it's like
startled.
doing like when
Yeah.
you're going with a recorder,
Hmm.
you're catching everything through the microphone. So when they're
Right.
hearing it from somewhere else, they're hearing something because you're not going to hear with your ears because it's coming through a microphone. Like if you're doing a recording on
Right.
a regular recorder.
Like IV,
So, I
live
mean,
EVP.
when I used to work,
Kimm's
when I
favorite.
used to with Ron and Yacovetti and Lourdes Gonzalez, when they first started their thing eons ago, I used to do FaceTime from Queens. They were in New Jersey, and we used to do the thing. And sometimes I heard things that they didn't, and then they went back and they listened and they heard what I heard because remember you're coming through a
Right.
microphone, so you're hearing it real time through a microphone where they might not hear it because it's they're using their regular ear.
right, yeah,
Right. So
different
that's why it's
frequencies.
good to
That's
do
a
it like
great
that.
point.
That's very good to do
No,
it like
that's a really good point.
Well, I also really like
It's
that
like
on
live
live you can
EVP.
do captions.
Mhm.
And I'm like,
Yes.
for me, hell, if it's an algorithm that's hearing this, I'm
Mhm.
like, it's not me thinking I'm hearing that. That's a computer. And I honestly, I would trust a computer thinking it's hearing
Absolutely.
something. But over
Oh,
my
yeah.
Yes.
mind putting something into it.
Good point.
Yeah. So I love that on
Yeah.
live.
Mary
These are great
Beth
points.
writes down that
I
you
just
should.
saw
I just want to tell Mary Beth it's not called Staticom anymore. It's called
Digital.
the digital digital
TDSC
seance. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, the digital seance. It's not called
experience.
Staticom.
The
With Ron and
digital
Lourdes. They do
experience.
yeah. They
Is
do the.
Ron still watching? I don't know.
Yeah,
So
I think so. He's
Ron is
usually
probably
there all the
listening
time.
right now.
in
Yeah,
a comment
yeah.
because I know Mary had mentioned in a comment that we need to have them come. So
Mhm.
Ron actually gave it away earlier. We are actually in the process of working
Yeah.
something out with Ron and Lourdes to get them for an event at the State House right now.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah.
oh, there's Ron. Hey, Ron.
He's still
Yeah.
here.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
what's interesting is
He's always here with us.
yeah.
we had a rare opening this past weekend where Friday and Saturday wasn't booked, which is fine, So we took advantage to go investigate both nights, do a little advertising, and we haven't investigated much this year, to be honest with you. So you saw a lot of clips from Friday night. It was very playish. It was, go here, go there. They were messing with
Yeah.
us.
Playful.
Saturday night was the
Right.
complete
It really
opposite.
seemed like that. Like they were like, go upstairs, go downstairs.
Saturday was completely the opposite.
Huh.
It was tense. It was, I mean, you gotta think, I lived in this house. Like I know every nook and cranny. And both of us were like, I don't want to freaking be here.
It was actually messing with him and his emotions hard to the point where
Really?
he was like we were upstairs, like we were in the basement, then we went upstairs and he's like, I don't like it, and I'm like, okay. And he finally takes the camera outside. He's like, nobody's investigated the backyard, let's go in the backyard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just trying to like air it out. And it wasn't, it was heavy. And he was like, what's different? And the only thing that I could think of that was different, and it's not a bad thing. A lot of people are like, oh, something like that must be malevolent. Just so anybody watching knows, just because a place is heavy doesn't mean it's malevolent.
Yeah.
You can be
Absolutely.
feeling somebody that is sad.
Yeah.
Dawn is
No, we don't.
very prevalent in that home. I have family members that have passed that are very prevalent in that home. So, and some of them have not died from very nice things. Dawn ended up passing from cancer. My mom passed from cancer. And so when he was like, what's different? What's different? And then I was really thinking about it. And I'm like, well, mom came over and was working in the flower beds today. And I was like, and they're kind of pissed that mom left. Like, mom's no longer here. And they're not happy that mom's no longer here.
Okay.
So that could totally alter the emotions of, if
Yes.
it's that mindset, people are like, oh, well, it's got to be the D word because it's coming across aggressive. Well, not necessarily.
Right.
He was an asshole in real life.
No.
And they passed away and they didn't cross. Guess what? I'm willing to like play the lottery on this. They're still an asshole, So when you look at it in that aspect,
Oh yeah.
If they can still have that same personality, those same emotions, wouldn't they still be emotional if the person who loved and lived in this home, somebody's wife, and he's like, I wish I could be with you. Like, he could be having a moment of, I wish I was with you. The spirits are having a moment of, we miss you. We don't see you as often. Like, that could totally make a house's atmosphere completely flip upside down. So it's not playful anymore. Now it's heavy. Now you're feeling the emotions. You're feeling sad. You're feeling drained. You're feeling agitated.
Yeah.
It's not a bad location. You just got to think what could be going on in a location that could be changing the interaction of a spirit. If you're going to a pay-to-play place where it's rotation, and it was real happy one night, and then you go in, could it be the team in between, the happy team in your spot? Could they have been provoking? Could they have been yelling at the spirits and calling them demons? And if you give me 50 llamas, I'll be in the demon-filled closet for a minute. It's like, how are they interacting with the spirits? That could really upset. I mean, it's like, they were people, flesh and bone, like we are now at one point. And it's about showing respect and having an understanding, of how an atmosphere can change.
Yeah.
So,
they have a sudden change also. There was a whole family there at one time. Now there's nobody in the house.
Yeah.
So it might react differently because they're
Right.
so used to having family, furniture, events going on, all that activity going on, all the positive, negative, whatever might be going on within in certain family lives. Now there's nothing there except when people come in. So that's why that might be affecting, more after Nick now because they recognize him for being there. Now he's not there and everybody else not there. So maybe that's why they're more after him because there's nobody else there that they're so used to. And they know mom is not there and maybe they're used to mom as like being a mother figure to them also, so that's probably what's amping up some of the activity there too.
right.
Our goal here
Well, I
is-
also find that like when built any kind of structure that's not being used actively, daily, and like purposefully lived in is kind of like a vacuum sometimes. So spirits are more likely to go into a vacant building or a place that's not being actively lived in. So it is possible too that somebody that night was just a walk by or
yeah,
comment.
possible.
Yeah, that's possible too.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
interesting.
We get passerbys all the time. Like we've got
Oh,
a
do
regular
you?
list of characters and then we have new ones pop up all the time.
Yeah. Well, you have a fort there, and there might have been battles there and stuff.
How?
So you probably have a lot of spirits walking around. And
Yeah.
now the house is empty and maybe becoming a portal. Now all these spirits have somewhere to go. Yeah.
Our goal here in
How
this
are
house.
I hope? Can you guys
Go ahead, Jenny. Go ahead.
go ahead? Oh, I'm sorry. I froze a little bit, so I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh no, you're
I
fine.
just had a quick question. How do you guys feel about investigating with with family members who pass, like you said? Like, is that comforting to you or is it hard? Or I don't know if I would be brave enough to do that, like knowing your stepfather could be there. Like, I know it's a personal question, but
It's at first I was like, I don't know.
I mean, other people are investigating there. Yeah, exactly. It's awkward.
It doesn't really bother the family because our whole family is involved in the
Yeah.
paranormal. My
Yeah, you
sisters,
said that. Yeah, yeah.
my sister's a Reiki master. She's well versed in a lot of different things.
Right. No, I agree. I think that's a consideration. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, that went into the thought process. It's like, okay, like Don could very well be there. We prepared for that.
Right. You don't know
he
what
is.
you're going to get, basically. Yeah. So you got to
He
be
is,
prepared
and
for anything.
it's okay. It's okay.
Well,
So,
you were
we're
prepared.
running out of time now. We're like 6 minutes
Oh,
left.
sorry.
You guys want to advertise anything or give any shout outs to anything that
Yes.
you guys are going, or going to be doing, or?
I'm going to let her talk about Mysteries of the Fort. I want to finish the State House real quick. Okay. The
Please.
State House, our goal here is to provide a safe place for any and all investigators, mediums, even kids, because we love teaching kids in the paranormal. So my suggestion to you, if you want a full, I don't know, haunting experience of the State House, book it for the weekend. Like literally come move in, wake up, get your coffee, take a shower. We have a massive shower in the house. I mean, just live. We've had some teams that have been there and they've stayed 2 or 3 days, and their experience was unreal. 24/7. They could not believe it. So that would be my suggestion. If you want to book the State House, think about it.
Right.
I mean, obviously, we just want you to come. It's really affordable. We're going to keep it affordable because, enough to pay the bills and keep going. That's about it. So
Well, I love that you said that, Nick,
take a trip there.
That was like the exact feeling that I got was like, if you live here, the paranormal will absolutely become real. I think I even said that in the reading. I was like, if you live here, it's like you will know, like without a doubt, that it's real and you will get the experience. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
So road trip, are we invited?
Road trip.
Let's
Let's go.
Yep.
We're jumping out bus and come out.
How do they reserve?
So you can just message the State House Facebook page. Okay. Just look up the State House. It's located in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Send a message and we will get you booked. We'll let you know what is required. I mean, in honesty, the only thing that we require is a list of names. You pay for it the day that you arrive through PayPal or cash. You have it Friday, Saturday. It's $150 up to 5 people, $35 for each additional person.
Wow.
Sunday through Thursday is $100 up to 5 people. Again, $35 each additional person. And we just need, like I said, the names that's your deposit. We're not in this to make money. We're in this to offer a safe location. This is legitimately a research center. We just want to make sure people are coming and having fun and getting a chance to experience it. This is a place where you can bring your children and know that they're safe.
Wow.
Sounds like
a labor of love.
We're gonna go. We bring Ron and Lourdes with us, and we'll go. We'll all come along.
Real quick plug though, November 7th, 8th, and 9th in Fort Wayne, we are hosting the Mysteries of the Fort, a paranormal and metaphysical symposium. Friday night is going to be a mingler at the hotel. It's being held at the Holiday Inn, Purdue. It's an actual Holiday Inn, not the Express off the side of the freeway. So it's actually got like the bar and the restaurant inside. We've reserved that for Friday. You can get tickets at mysteriesofthefort.com. Just go to the shop. We've got different VIP bundles that you can purchase your tickets for. On Friday night, though, we're going to do it different. We're going to have different variations of gallery readings. Sam Beltrusis is going to be a part of it, along with Heidi Kemper. And what's great is
going to be on next week.
An event where people have volunteered their time to be a part of this, because with this event, we're giving back to the paranormal community. We're taking it back to the OG days when Paracons first started, where it was a safe place to share your thoughts, share your ideas, have the conversations. Right. We're not looking for the celebrities where you're hearing the same speech that you heard at 6 different Paracons in 2025. Saturday is going to be 5 panels with 5 different themes. We're going to have equipment builders, location owners, authors, mediums, and first responders that are doing amazing things in the paranormal field. Sunday is going to be 5 classes / lectures, all metaphysical based. What's even more amazing is we've partnered up with the Humane Society of Fort Wayne. So if you bring items that the Humane Society is in need of, you get $2 off your tickets. It's only $10 at the door. First responders and veterans get 50% off. We have also partnered up with the Shepherd's House. The Shepherd's House, we're doing our 50-50 raffle for them. And what they do is they help the homeless veterans here in Fort Wayne, getting them back on their feet, helping them with jobs, medical, housing. So not only are we giving back to the paranormal community, we're also giving back to Fort Wayne.
That's awesome. It's the 2-hour mark.
Amazing. You guys are amazing.
Yeah. We're going to have to definitely take a trip out there. But we really have to end the show. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Which we had like
I tried to do that as fast as I could.
I'm sorry.
2 hours go by just like that with us.
I know. It's not enough
So
time.
I just want to thank everybody in the audience.
Thank you for coming on.
Thank you. You guys were awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad I met you at
Thank
Hanover.
you. You're amazing.
You know, we had a couple of guests come out. You know, that weekend I met you guys, and I had a couple of the guests come on from Hanover last week, and we had a couple of people. So I want to thank you guys for coming on. We're going to definitely check out I like to check out your place. Definitely want to come out there, especially if we could stay overnight. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Indiana.
And
get the bus out, Anthony.
Yeah, we're gonna get the bus. we're gonna buy Secrets Chronicles bus. You know. So I want to thank everybody for coming out and checking out the show this weekend. If you like the show, please hit like. If you want to donate to the show, whatever, to the Earth Radio, you can. I just want to thank everybody for coming. I got an awesome ending. You're gonna like this new ending I have at the end of the show. I always put something stupid out there, but it's gonna be funny. But I want to say to everybody, you got to be safe out there. You want to look for ghosts. You don't want to be a ghost. I just want to say, forget about it. Ciao, familia.
Bye, everyone. Bye. Thanks. Good night.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
C'è la luna in mezzo mare, mamma mia, mamma dare. Figlia mia, tutta cara, mamma mia, pensaci tu.